Welcome back, guys. After a weekend of racing, I had the morning off, a bit of R&R, and I'm back in my workshop. So far I've done a bit on the M3. All the sealer has gone off over the weekend and been and got some paint mixed up, so painted. I'm pretty happy with it. So now we need to fit the rear cross brace, which bolts on up here, and on the other strut mount, and down here on these two. But I need to change the springs anyway, so I'll be removing these rear shocks, change the springs. I'm going softer with the springs. I'm sure I went through that before. So these are new rears, these are new fronts. So I'm going 2K softer front and rear. Actually I'm going 3K softer on the front, 2K on the rear. And then we can get this bolted in. So that's spring swapped. It's a longer spring than it was, so I've moved the ride height platform down. I've put a tiny bit of preload on the spring as it was before. Obviously we're going to have to adjust the ride height once it goes back on the car. I've measured the ride height just roughly to the wheel arch because the car hasn't been corner weighted yet anyway, so it's not accurate. It's not a race car. So rinse and repeat. And the other side. This is the second one built up. You see it's loose. What I didn't say in the other video was I measured the other side after I finished recording. And I measured from the bottom of the spring here to the top of this cup here. At least then I know that 75mm is my base point, so that both sides are the same, and we can go from there. It just makes it easier to get started. Leave that unlocked, and we're good to put this one back on. Hello, sports fans. We have got nice new springs. Not great with this torch. That's all back on. Ride height not set. I'm waiting for some new studs with nice ends on. They should turn up tomorrow. Our Specialized Motorsport Engineering brace is now installed and tight. And flip the torch around. Look at that. Fits lovely. I'm now all done in the boot, apart from replacing this carpet down here, which it's got some stains on, which is why I didn't even move it when I was welding, so I'm not worried about burning it. Now it's got some stains on and it's got some burn holes in, so I need to replace that. But I also need to put some of these back in. So this is the boot carpets. Let's see if I can show you. I already cut these flaps so that I could adjust the rear dampers without taking anything out. So I may just extend the cut, just cut this bit out. It doesn't have to be tidy, it's only my car. It's not a show car, it's built to be used. They're quite readily available, so if I ever want to tidy it up, I can just buy a new set from someone breaking a race car or something. So all in all, pretty happy with this. It's a good product, fits nicely. It's proven to work as well, stop the boot floor cracking anymore. But also the instructions were very helpful. It made the installation good. I wasn't going to weld the panel in at the top, but my friend Scott from Assessor's Car Care, next door to me and a good friend of mine, he loves welding metal, tin metal. So he decided that he would come and do it for me. So that was great. Got me out of a job. Did do some shots of him, but he didn't want to be on camera or anything. So yeah, just the front springs to do and set the ride height. I'll probably carry on tomorrow because tomorrow I've got the studs turning up. Also my seat rails should turn up so I can get these in. Get these beauties. Nearly new condition. Very happy with my purchase. I did think about putting in this, but doesn't need bucket seats really. So yeah, just got these front springs to go. And I really need to get my car off the ramp because Dan's van is waiting. It's got the cylinder head off and I'm waiting for it to come back. So I need to chase that up today and see if it's done yet. I like it when it happens first time. Now I need to move on to the front springs. A bit more a bigger job to do the front ones. I'm hoping that I can just drop the top down, leave the top mount up there, use the trusty jack. We'll see. Okay, so I've managed to drop both sides down, still connected on the roll bar, drop the top down, take the top mount off and the spring off. And I should be able to just simply grab this, make sure it's up the right way, slide it on. It was a good job. Just dropped on the floor. I've changed the front springs and the rear springs. I haven't adjusted the front spring platforms. I left them where they were just to baseline it. I'm currently 10mm lower on the front than I was, which to be honest isn't going to be that bad because I think because of my stagger on my tyres, last time I was on track there's a bit of understeer, so a bit more rake might help that. So I think, to be honest, I'm just gonna leave it like this. If it scrubs, make some adjustment until I get a chance to corner weight it. The platform heights are the same, so the preload is the same. They're quite a well-balanced car, I think, so it's not going to be the end of the world. There was no inherent handling problems last time when I didn't corner weight it. Just be something nice that I would want to do at some point. Can still get the ramp legs underneath it, so it's still serviceable. The front damper change didn't take long at all, about half an hour. Had a bit of a fight with the roll bar, ended up taking it off or disconnecting one side. You can see here, I haven't cut out the top mounts when I fitted them. I adjusted the camber on one side, and then I just matched it on the other side and bolted it up. Haven't adjusted it since. I need to repaint mark that top because it's now in a different place. Hopefully tomorrow my wheel studs and nuts will turn up so I can replace those, and also my seat rails, and we can get that going.
The next day.
Well guys, you joined me today. I've done a bit of work already, which I haven't filmed, but I have got one seat in. So my PCI rails turned up. There they are, that's the base plate. It's got a few mounting hole options, so you can move side to side. It's got buckle eyelet holes in the middle. It's got a attachment for the seat belt, runners, bolts, washers, spacers, and seatbelt bolt. Little instructions. And it comes with some side mounts, but because Recaro, I wanted to keep these ones, which meant I had to do a bit of drilling. These are the standard seats, which are very heavy, about 25 kilos. I just carried one upstairs. Here is the install. It's the first aid kit, which is under my seat. It's got scissors, for bandages. Not sure what they expected was going to happen in this M3. But yeah, I need to find somewhere for that. Be useful to keep, I suppose. Yeah, it was in the little box underneath the seat. I never knew that. So this is the install. Runners look nice. Could do with cleaning this bolt up a little bit. Get some paint on it. Get a little plastic cap for it maybe. But yeah, happy with it. The seats do actually slide forward enough that you better get someone through here. Be a bit of a squeeze, but at least you can still get people in the rear. So just got this one out. I have to give this a little hoover. I'm also going to have to do an airbag and seat occupancy sensor delete in the coding, which I don't know how to do. So I'll be having to do a little Google on that. I've got the NCS Expert program, but I've never had to code out occupancy sensors. So a bit of airbag module coding we can do afterwards. I haven't got any seatbelt stalks yet. You can take the ones off of here, off the standard seats. It's just box on through here, but I'd rather leave them on my standard seats if I can. And then there's a scrap car place just around the corner. So I'll see if I can source some universal type ones that fit and do the job. So yeah, let's continue. This rail and this seat. So done a bit of drilling. The seat rails came with these nice little captive nuts. There are two nuts tacked to a plate, so you just drop it in. This one's on. The Recaro rails I've had to drill. You can just see the holes there. Look, I had to drill two because they're only held on by one, and these rails are held on by two. So I thought I'd utilise that. It seems silly to get rid of it when it's more secure. Okay, so we're in. Now, I'm pretty happy with the height and everything, but I think I need to tip a bit more. My arms, if I look at my arm here, it's a bit of a stretch to get to the top of the wheel. The wheel's all the way down and all the way out towards me. So now I've got some adjustment on these bolts here. I'm just going to drop this one down to this one. The rear is as low as it can go, which ideally I want to be as low as I can go. So if I just go one hole in the front and see what that does, I think. Okay, so I've dropped this one hole on the front, left the rear, just slacken the rear. I'm much happier with the seating position, which is a bit annoying because of my OCD. I'm gonna have to do the other side, and it means taking the seat out to get to these bolts. To get to the one on the inside, I have to take them out. I'm gonna have to take the other side out. There's also a washer behind this bolt, which is very awkward. Just provoke some swear words. Once it's done, it's done. Okay, so that's seats installed. I found a fix for the seat belts. Luckily, my friend Scott had some E46 seatbelt buckles, so it's kept the ones on my old seats in case I ever put the seats back in. They're all together, they're all good. The airbag light's on. I need to code that at some point. The next job is my wheel nuts. So these are the old ones. You can see they've got no lead on, and also the thread on the back is too long. They stick through because there's nothing to hit. They keep going into the hub until the thread stops, whereas these ones have got a nice stop. They've also got an Allen key on the end and some new black wheel nuts. So we're going to get them in. I've got these ones out this side. So my Yellow Speed brake kit, which I'm very happy with. Let's get on with it. Just need to put a bit of Loctite on here so it's stopping coming out when I take the wheels off, and then we're good to go. bad. I have to say the springs have made a big difference, and the seats feel lovely. I'm a little bit off centre, so I might have to drive this one, but minor really. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that jazz, and hopefully see you at track day soon. Peace out.